Welcome to this brief demonstration of the Novell Support Advisor 1.1. This tool is used for supporting and diagnosing SUSE Linux Enterprise Server, Open Enterprise Server, and NetWare servers and their associated products. In this demonstration, we will show both diagnosing a NetWare server and a SUSE Linux server. When the client is initially launched, you're brought to this home screen where you can begin a new analysis. The new analysis screen allows you to define which servers you're going to do an analysis against. As you can see, there's the ability to define new connections or new servers within inside the client. There's also the ability to look at previous connections that you've made to other servers and look at the results of those diagnostic sessions. If we go to the new connections, we can select a server or discover servers by an IP address range. And if it's a Linux server, then we will do a search for all systems that have SSH at a designated port. By default, we use port 22. It could be a different port if needed. But SSH will be our main protocol, which we will try to discover against and also do authentication. If you're doing a NetWare server, we will be using the NetWare NRM interface to communicate and gather up key information that will be used for diagnosing NetWare servers. So for this session, we will begin by starting off on a Linux server. And since I already know the server name that we're going to do an analysis against, I will place that within this dialog, and we will connect to it via SSH at port 22. And at that time, I'm prompted to put in a privileged user account to gather up the information that will be used to diagnose the system. In this case, I'm just going to put in root. It could be any other privileged user. And also, if you had SSH keys, you could use those as well. Many people in their data centers will have SSH keys in which they provide authentication mechanisms to their servers. So in this case, we'll just log in with the username and password. And what this will do is this will begin the process of gathering up key log files, configuration information, and any other types of information that may be important in doing an analysis against a system. And what's so important about this is that this information, as it's gathered up, will become the basis of being able to diagnose if there's a potential problem on the system. And we use what is defined by Novell as support diagnostic patterns, which are key pieces of logic that go through those files after they've been gathered from the system. And those files will go through, and the support diagnostic patterns will go through and look for pieces of information that may give us a clue on a potential problem. And not only will it give us list out those things that are potentially a problem, but it'll also provide solutions that are associated with maybe fixing that problem. So right now we're in the process of gathering up this information off the system. And for the sake of time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this video until we've completed this gathering, then we will return back. The next screen that we're brought to after we've gathered up that data is the screen where we can select the patterns that we would like to have ran against this collection that we've gathered up. And as you can see over here, we've broken up the patterns into different categories. So for security, you can see all the different patterns that are available for that. And these patterns are written by Novell Support for the purpose of helping you diagnose the most latest types of information or potential problems that have been discovered by the support team. And when the Novell Support Advisor client starts, it actually goes out and communicates over the internet via a secure channel and pulls down the latest support diagnostic patterns that are provided by support. So as you can see here, there's several different security patterns. There's some around updates, some around eDirectory, if you had eDirectory running on the system. There's SUSE Linux patterns that you may want to run, and some connectivity and print. So what we're going to do is we're going to select several of these categories, and what I'm doing is I'm just double clicking on the category. I could come in here and just click on an individual pattern, and what it will do is it'll put it in the selected list of items that have that we're going to run in this analysis. Or again, I can just double click on the whole category and move it all across. So now that I've selected several different patterns, now we'll begin the process of doing the analysis, and we can do that by clicking on the report, run report button at the bottom. And this does not take very long. Each of the patterns will now run through the collected data, and will provide us back some information. As you can see on this server, this server is, as far as critical errors or warnings or any recommendations, they're zero. Everything was successful on the server. So this is a server that we would consider to be in very good health. It's been updated correctly. There's all the appropriate patches have been made, so there's no issues with that system. Let me show you what a system would look like that may have some potential problems or issues that need to be addressed. And we'll just bring up an OES server here, and as you can see, this is a previous analysis that we did. It currently had 3 errors and 2 warnings and 18 successes. But we'll just go ahead and open up that archive that was already gathered once before, so we don't have to go through the process of collecting data. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all categories, and then we'll do run a report against this OES server. And then what we'll be provided with again is some suggestions that need to be made to get the system in better health, or to address maybe some security issues or whatever may have come up. So you can see right here there's 9 items that are potentially critical, and as I click on each one of these, you'll notice towards the bottom of the screen there's some suggestions on what you need to do in order to, well, what the pattern is, and possibly what could be done, or solutions that could be provided are held down here at the bottom where it says solutions. And if I click on one of these links down here that are highlighted, it will drive me to a solution that will help me repair a potential problem that may be existing or be associated with this pattern. So as far as solutions go, solutions could be a TID, or a technical informational document provided by Novell. It could be a security advisory. It could be associated with a bug, a video, a script. Could drive you out to cool solutions that may provide you with more information, or even drive you to a patch. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the security advisory, and what this will do is it will drive me into where the security advisory is, and I can take and go through that. And also, if I wanted to, I could view the support TID that's associated with that by clicking on the TID link. And what this will do is it'll drive me to the support TID that's associated with that potential problem, giving me an opportunity, or at least some information on how I could fix it myself. So that's kind of how that works. Every pattern has can have at least one solution or multiple solutions associated with it. As you can see, there's different categories. Here's some warnings, things that may need to be checked on. There's also some recommendations. In this case, eDirectory is running on the server, and it does not have probably the cache size settings that's maybe needed in order to receive the best efficiencies. So again, you can go down and click on a solution and look at that information about that associated pattern. So that's what it looks like from both a Linux SLES side and from an OES side. Let me show you a NetWare server, and we'll just take and run again the patterns against an existing data collection. And of course, with this migration, this is a migration category, and there's several different patterns are provided for those that may be looking at migrating from NetWare to Linux. What we'll do is we'll click on this and run the report. As you can see in this situation, if you're looking at migrating from NetWare to Linux, these are areas you might want to consider fixing before you perform the actual upgrade. As you can see, this one that I'm out of date on my service packs, and I could actually click on this link and it'll drop me to where the patches is that I need to put on this server before we begin the upgrade. Now, thank you for your time.